You ever watch a lunch tray crash in slow motion? Like time freezes just long enough for the humiliation to really set in? Yeah, that was me, except I wasn't the one humiliated. It was my first week at Westbrook High, and believe me, nothing screams fresh meat louder than sitting alone at a cafeteria table, eyes down, pretending the lukewarm spaghetti on my tray was some kind of gourmet meal. That's when Chad happened. Every school's got a Chad, right? Big, loud, quarterback swagger, crew of football goons orbiting around him like he's the sun, and we're all just planets hoping not to get scorched. Chad barrels into my table, knocks my lunch straight onto the floor, tray and all, food splattering in every direction. Oops. Didn't see you there, quiet freak, he sneers, and the whole place erupts in laughter. I just stare at the mess, then at Chad, and I can feel the heat rising in my face, but I don't move, don't say a word. You know that look you give when you've already written someone off? That was me, except nobody realized I'd been trained to keep my cool, because the first person to lose their temper always loses the fight. See, I just moved here from a military base halfway across the country, and the only thing Westbrook's principal knew about me was what my sealed record didn't say. He tried to make small talk when I enrolled, asked if I was adjusting okay, but I just nodded, signed a few forms, pulled my sleeves down over my wrists. My hands were rough from years of drills, but I kept them hidden, didn't want to draw attention out yet. My name's Arya, by the way, but back then at Westbrook, I was just the new quiet girl. It's funny how fast people decide who you are before you even open your mouth. After lunch, the halls buzzed with energy, everyone still riding high on Chad's latest stunt. That's when he corners me by the lockers, his buddies blocking any way out. Chad grabs my bag, shakes it, grinning. What's in here, Bricks? Or is this just your little diary? For a split second, I saw the whole thing playing out, me, just letting it happen, shrinking back, confirming everything they thought they knew. But that's not who I am. One smooth motion, and I've got his wrist, and before his friends even register what's happening, Chad's flying over my shoulder and landing hard on the linoleum. He's flat on his back, gasping for breath, his eyes huge with shock. I bend down, pick up my bag, and say real quiet, almost like I'm telling him a secret, don't touch my things. That's it. No yelling, no drama, just facts. Then I walk away. I don't look back, but I can feel the eyes everyone saw, and nobody said a word. By the time 7th period rolled around, it was all over TikTok. Quiet girl KOs QB. Memes, slow-mo replays. Some kid even set the footage to WWE sound effects. Chad's pride was in pieces, and, let's be real, for a guy like him, that's worse than any bruise. Only problem? His dad's on the school board, and he's the type who treats every slight like a war crime. That night, Chad and his crew hatched their revenge. If they couldn't beat me in a fair fight, they'd get me kicked out. Next day, I get summoned to the principal's office. Whole staff's there, a couple students, even the janitor peeking in. Chad limps in like he's just crawled out of a car wreck, clutching his side, telling everyone how violent I am, how he feared for his life. I sit there, stone-faced, waiting. They think they've got me, but what nobody counted on was that this school, like every school nowadays, has cameras everywhere. Principal cues up the footage, and they're at Isaveri's second of Chad snatching my bag, me moving in a blur, flipping him clean, then stepping away. You could hear a pin drop. Suddenly, another voice deep, authoritative cuts through the silence. A man in uniform steps in, introduces himself as Colonel Reynolds, my legal guardian. For the record, he says, Arya's held a black belt since she was 14. She trains with special forces. She could have done much worse to your boy if she'd wanted. The principal turns to me, eyes wide. Chad goes pale, sinking into his chair like he's trying to disappear. From that day on, nobody messed with me. The jocks parted like the Red Sea when I walked down the hall. But something else happened to a girl from the bleachers, little shy thing named Maya, runs up to me after gym. You're my hero, she blurts out, breathless. Would you maybe show me how to do that? For the first time since I'd landed in this strange place, I actually smiled. We started small, just the two of us, practicing wrist locks behind the gym. Word got out fast, and before I knew it, there were a dozen girls, then 20, all showing up for my impromptu self-defense class. Even a couple teachers joined in, curious and grinning, cheering the girls on as they learn to hold their ground. And here's where the twist comes in. Turns out, Maya's older brother was one of Chad's crew, and seeing his sister walk taller made him rethink everything. He apologized, genuinely, said he was ashamed for ever following Chad's lead. Sometimes, the real change doesn't start with the top dog going down, it starts with the folks around him deciding enough is enough. The school started to shift, just a little at first. People who'd never spoken to each other started sitting together at lunch. Cliques broke up, teachers let their guards down. There's a kind of power in silence, in letting your actions do the talking. I never wanted to be a hero, and I still don't think I am one, but if standing up quietly, calmly for myself and for others made even one kid feel braver, then maybe all those years of keeping my head down were worth it. You know, it's funny folks used to call me a nobody because I didn't talk much, but the truth is, real strength isn't loud. Sometimes, it's the person who sits quietly in the corner who's got the most to say when they finally decide to speak up. And if you've ever been underestimated, ever been mocked for your silence, let them hear you through your actions, not just your words. What do you think? Is power best shown in silence or in shouting back? Have you ever seen someone turn the tables just by refusing to play by the usual rules? If you believe justice sometimes speaks loudest in whispers, drop a silent power in the comments and share your story below. I promise, you're not alone, and sometimes the quietest voice can shake a whole room.